From the studios of Cheshire TV in Keene, New Hampshire, it's The Men's Room, a show by men, about men, and for everyone. Sponsored by the Monadnock Men's Resource Center and hosted by Damian Licata and Forrest Seymour.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Men's Room, and we are so happy to be back.
It's been months.
It's been months. But I know you've been watching those quality reruns, and
Yes.
and that's kept you engaged.
But there's been demand for more.
There has been.
More original programming. It was the writers' strike, right?
That's
Isn't
right.
that why we were out?
Sure, we'll go with that. It was the writers' strike. Thank God it's over.
Yeah, we can get back on with the good jokes now.
That's right. So we're delighted to be back. Part of our hiatus had to do with I had to go into the shop for a while.
That's right. Get tuned up.
That's right. I had a little heart repair.
But doing okay.
But doing great.
That's
doing great. Feeling great. And it's great to be back.
Yeah.
So,
I'm glad to have you.
We've got a whole lineup of guests for the weeks to come.
That's right. We have great guests today, which we'll just have to wait a minute to find out about. We have coming up down the road is Barnes Peterson, who works at the County Correctional Facility, John Everest, who works with the Monadnock Center for Violence Prevention, Len Fleischer, who works at the college but also does some rite of passage work with adolescents. So we've got really excited in the next few weeks.
Yeah. Great lineup, some really interesting conversations to come.
Yeah. And you may have noticed, those of you who watch every time our show is on may have noticed that we didn't do a little blurb just now about the drop-in support group. That's because there are some changes going on about that we'll talk about at the end.
That's right. But you're going to have to hang around till the end and hear about those.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. One other thing we want to be sure to mention is that the second annual Walk a Mile Men's March to Stop Sexual Violence is going to be happening again this year on April 12th. I don't know if it was on April 12th last year, but it was in April last year.
It was in April, right.
Second annual one will be Saturday, April 12th. It's a great thing. You can get more information about that if you go to our website, which is www.mmrconline.org.
And it's Walk a Mile in her shoes.
In her shoes. Did I skip
And they're
that
not
part?
kidding about that.
That's right. You don't have to, but the guys are encouraged to wear women's shoes during this 1 mile.
Yep. And I'm going to go with something like a nice, comfortable pair of pumps this year.
Yeah. Well,
I'll tell you,
last year
I had a wedge that was.
It was too much.
It was way too much.
Yeah. I wore fluffy slippers, which worked just fine for me.
So, but the march is led by men in women's shoes to show their solidarity and to make a statement. But men and women and children are more than welcome to participate.
And you don't have to wear women's shoes.
You do not have to. No.
It's a fundraiser this year for the Monadnock Center for Violence Prevention, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
That's right.
It always is.
Yeah.
So should we move on with our
guest?
Let's
get to it.
All right.
Absolutely.
Our guest.
Lots to talk about.
Yeah. Our guest today is Dan Fairbanks, who is a native of the Monadnock area, born in Winchester, and he is a father of 2 kids, 2 wonderful children. I'm sure I haven't met them, but I'm sure they're wonderful.
Aren't they all?
Yeah, aren't they all? That's right. He works locally with Head Start and with a dynamic duo, which we'll have to learn more about whatever that is.
Yeah.
But he's here because he is a team captain for All Pro Dad, which is a we'll let him tell you what that's about. But he's also the president of the Keene Head Start Parents Association. He's the chair of the Southwest Community Services Head Start Policy Council and a member of the New Hampshire State Head Start Parent Association. And it just goes on and on. The chair of this, the member of that. So he's got a lot of
doing a lot of great work for kids and parents.
So we're going to hear some more in particular about the All Pro Dads thing.
Yeah.
So Dan, welcome to the Men's Room. Thanks for joining us here.
Thanks for having me here.
Yeah.
It's great to have you.
It's great to be here.
Yeah. So tell us, what is All Pro Dads? What is that? I mean, let's assume that our viewers have like no clue what that means.
Well, All Pro Dads, it's a men's discussion group that I'm working on starting up. I'm actually in my 3rd month. The last month, we just had it on March 1st. Unfortunately, the weather was terrible, so we had to more or less cancel it. But it's just a monthly breakfast we do. It costs us $2 per person. Dads come with their kids and sit down, enjoy a nice wonderful breakfast, and meet other dads. We discuss different items that dads would like to know about, or even what the children would like to know.
Sounds great. Where does it happen?
Currently, we are holding it at the Keene Head Start.
Yeah.
Right on School Street.
Right. Good. Good.
So this is All Pro Dads is actually a national program, isn't that right?
Yes, it's national. They have several hundred groups across the nation. It's based out of Florida. The company that actually promotes it is Family First, and they have several different program runs. They've got one for moms called iMom, and they also have a little talk show with the president of Family First, Mark Merrill. And
that's a talk show on television or radio, or?
I believe it's on both.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
So so this is a new thing to the Keene area.
This is very new to the Keene area. Overall, it's actually new to New England. There is one group in upstate Vermont, and there are a few down in Connecticut, but besides that, there are none in the area.
Oh yeah.
So is the mission of All Pro Dads is to strengthen specifically father involvement with their children?
Yeah. The whole purpose is strengthen father relationships with their families, strengthen their parenting skills, help fathers out. There's a lot of groups out there for single moms and mothers, but there's not many out there for fathers.
Yeah.
Fathers seem to be lost quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does seem that way. I mean, what do you make of that? I mean, what do you think? Why is it that fathers seem so lost sometimes?
From what I've seen, volunteering at Head Start and with all the committees I'm on, a lot of it, fathers don't know, what they should do, what they shouldn't do. They're not sure what they should get involved in. And
Like maybe they're sort of used to the idea that the mother should be the one to take care of the kids or something.
Yeah.
And so it's
And big thing, education. Mothers have always done education. Fathers. From my personal experience, fathers have always sat back and let the moms handle it. And my personal view is fathers should be just involved in their child's education.
Very often, too, I think that when in the unfortunate instance of a divorce or a separation of the parents, now all of a sudden, the dads have to parent when they're with that child without, on their own. I mean, they have to be much more involved if they want to have a healthy relationship and continue to be a parent to that child than maybe they could get away with when the family was intact. So do you find that a lot of the dads that you're sort of directing this towards are these single dads or dads who are or non-custodial parents?
A lot of them are non-custodial parents there. They only get their children every other weekend. So, their parenting skills might not be the best. There's a lot of things they don't understand. And I've had a few dads come up ask me questions on, how should I discipline my child? If I do it this way, the mom gets angry with me, or she don't like my parenting skills. It's like, what can I do to, keep the situation the way it is, or improve it, not make it any worse.
Right.
So they're really wanting to do the right thing for
Yeah.
the kid, and for, not to make conflict with the mother, but they don't know how.
Yeah.
Yeah. So before we go further, if people are interested in participating, they can call you, I understand.
Yes, they can call me at 603-852-6754.
Great. And we'll give that number out again towards the end so people can write it down if they want to. But that's great.
Now, I have a question about Family First is the umbrella organization under which this program started. And I believe that they are, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they are primarily a Christian family values sort of organization. Am I right about that?
Yes.
Okay. So is there is the program that you're involved in, this All Pro Dads, is this open to all dads, or does this have a sort of Christian orientation that might exclude some fathers?
It's open to all dads. I mean, there are a couple topics, like they have 10 ways you can be an All Pro dad. One of the ones is pray together, worship together. But besides that, the rest of it's just based on everyday things you should be doing.
But if it says pray together, that doesn't necessarily mean pray in a Christian church, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it could be. So that's not, it's fairly inclusive. Atheists might have a little trouble with that.
Yeah. So it's not primarily a Christian program.
No.
Okay. I just wanted to clear that up because people who might go to the website and might be looking at Family First. I've heard about Family First. There's, they might feel like, that's not something, I don't necessarily ascribe to those sort of Christian ideals, so it's not something I might want to get involved in.
But so often I think there's a difference. I mean, we had a guest on who was part of the Scouts, the scouting organization, and and they've had some controversies around sort of the whole Christian, or is it a Christian organization, and also their stance on having gay men involved, and but on the ground, I mean, what we learned from talking with our guest was that the way it's implemented, I mean, the national organization may say this is the rules, but when you really implement it, it's like it's inclusive. There's an effort to include everybody. I mean, there's not a lot of judgment going on, so.
Yep.
So I don't mean to speak for you, but I imagine.
Well, let me ask you: if a dad or a pair of dads were a pair of gay men, would they feel comfortable? Would they be welcome? Would this program be something that would serve them?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely would. The way I run it, I'm not going to exclude anybody.
Yeah.
And if you get people in there, a couple gay dads that want to come in, there's no problem there. They may have some insight that other dads would be interested in hearing.
Right.
Yeah, I can tell you, I don't think I would want to co-parent with another dad. I think that would be
a whole nother set of challenges.
Yes,
absolutely.
Personally speaking, just
to
have those sort of two alpha things.
Right. Well, I think I just wanted to. I think it's important to make those things explicit and clear, so that people really, do feel comfortable, coming into a group like that. So, it's good to hear that it's inclusive that way.
So what is that? So the All Pro piece, there is this professional sports connection too. How does that connect with
All Pro Dad is, a lot of it is funded by professional football teams. Their head spokesman is Tony Dungy of the Indianapolis Colts.
He's a coach, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the coach of the Colts, and he's their main spokesman. They've got, I think, 44 active players and coaches that speak for the All Pro Dad.
Are these all football players, or are they different?
All football players.
All football players. Huh?
Yeah. And that's the way they designed the program to draw dads in. All Pro Dads got basically 3 sections. You have your monthly breakfast, and then you've got your play of the day, which are just daily emails, talk about different subject.
Okay.
And then they have a kid and father's experience, which once every couple of months, one of the football stadiums in the country opens the doors for 3 hours to allow all pro dad groups to come in and do little workshops with players and teams. You know, they try to involve athletes as much as possible.
Yeah.
Use them as role models.
Have you ever been to one of those?
No, I have not.
No?
Unfortunately, there's not many in this area.
No.
I think Buffalo Bills are the only stadium up in this area that have one.
Yeah. New England Patriots aren't involved.
They're currently not involved. Right now, they have 8 teams involved.
Yeah.
They're adding 2 to 3 teams a year. They're hoping within the next couple of years
Yeah.
to get all the teams involved
Uh-huh.
and open up these mini camps.
Yeah.
So that way they cover most of the country. You know, most of it's done down in Florida.
Uh-huh.
'Cause that's where the parent company is located.
So I guess
Yeah.
you just have to go to Florida then to
Yeah.
do one of these things.
Yeah. I mean, they don't do all their activities at the football stadiums. They do also the baseball stadiums. Tampa Bay Devil Rays is a big sponsor. As far as, you know, they don't incorporate baseball much into the program. But with the sponsors, they use the stadium
Yeah.
for their activities and that.
Sure. Yeah. So let me ask you, you know, how did you get interested in this? I know that you've been associated with the Head Start program for a while, but how did you get interested in doing this kind of work with fathers specifically?
The thing that pushed me the most was, you know, I'm president of the Parents Association, and you know, we have our monthly meeting and
At Head Start.
at Head Start, and you know, the turnout hasn't been good.
Not a lot of parent involvement.
There's not many parent involvement, and what there is for parent involvement, there's not much dad involvement. So, you know, I looked on the internet to see how I could drag dads in.
Yep.
Drag him in kicking and screaming sometimes.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
even, you know, just come in the center, visit with the kids, volunteer.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know, an hour a week. And not necessarily attend the meetings or anything, just involved in the children's education.
Yeah.
So, you know, I was searching the internet and came across a couple websites, and one of them happened to be a website for another Head Start located out west.
Yeah.
And they were talking about All Pro Dad and how they do an All Pro Dad group. So I figured, you know, I couldn't find anything else out there, so I went and checked it out, and you know, it looked pretty good. Back in November, I signed up to be a team captain,
Yeah.
and they sent me a nice box of materials.
Yeah.
I got a hat, shirt that I refuse to wear, only because it supports the Jacksonville Jaguars. Being in New England, be a Patriots fan, I won't wear it.
All right.
I'm still trying to convince
But you got the hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got the nice, wonderful hat.
Yeah.
They sent me door prizes,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
you know, for the meetings.
Right. Yeah. That's
You know, I
good.
got some wonderful door prizes to give away. You know, some team towels.
Yeah.
Cool.
a
So
lot
have
of
you
sports
connected
stuff.
with the program that's at this other Head Start that you were looking at? Have you had any chance? To
I've
sort
been writing back and forth
Yeah.
through email with them, seeing what they're doing, see how they got started. You know, my biggest thing right now is just trying to get the foundation going.
Right. Get some.
That's
get
been the
some
toughest.
regular, yeah.
And get some regular people coming in.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's been tough.
Sure. Yeah. Well, from our experience, we can certainly, you know, understand how and appreciate how difficult it is sometimes to get not just dads but men in general to get involved in any kind of joining, you know, activity. So you know, the sports connection is certainly one way that, you know, makes sense for
Yeah.
you know, for some men that would be, you know, a draw, absolutely, for a lot of men and their kids, you know. So I can see how it can be effective. So, hats off to you for, taking this on. It's a challenge.
It's been a challenge. It wasn't until January where I could get a spot just to hold the meetings.
So what has it been like for you? I mean, you've had some dads come?
I've had a couple. The turnout hasn't been great yet.
Has it been?
A lot of it's trying to advertise.
Yeah.
I'm working on advertising.
Well, hopefully
getting the word out.
this will maybe make it a little bit of a
my January meeting, which was the biggest turnout was, that was, just trying to advertise.
Yeah.
Right at that point, I did just with Head Start parents before I opened to the public, so I had a good idea what I was looking at.
Sure.
Right.
Unfortunately, our next one we did in March, and the weather didn't hold out. I did have some parents RSVP from Chester, Vermont, so it's gotten out there a little bit.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a ways.
Yeah.
So how has it been? What's it been like? I mean, is there anything that's happened in the January meeting, for example, that was? I mean, do you think it's? I mean, now that you've done a couple of meetings, do you feel like this is gonna be a good thing? I mean, have people said, "Oh yeah, I'm glad I came," or
Yeah, I mean, the people have shown up. They've really enjoyed it, and even the ones that can't make it due to work and that, they've read about it. I've talked to them. A lot of them wish they could make it. Unfortunately, schedules conflict with a lot of stuff.
Right.
So the breakfasts are held on what day of the week?
Saturdays.
On a Saturday.
Yep. It's the first Saturday of the month.
Okay.
First item of what time?
At 9 a.m.
And but people should give you a call first or email you, let you know.
That way,
Yeah.
I get a good idea of what I need for breakfast.
Yeah.
Right.
So give us that number again to call you.
The number again is 603-852-6754.
Great. And we actually are going to have it listed on our website too, because we're putting up a list of resources for men. So we'll include your number if you don't mind. We'll do
I
that.
don't mind at all.
All
That'd
right.
be nice.
That's good.
Okay. Well, that's great.
Yeah.
And like I said, I commend you for this work. I think that dads need a lot of support. I think that a lot of times, like you said, dads, a lot of fathers don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
It's not that they don't want to.
And men generally aren't that good about saying, "Oh, hey, I don't know how to do this. Could you help me?"
Right.
Some men are good at that, but a lot of men are like, don't ask directions things.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
So
And,
it's a stretch to,
Yep.
to come out and join you on a Saturday morning, but a great thing.
Yeah.
Great thing,
Yep.
Yeah. And just an opportunity to have some quality time, with your kids.
It's a perfect opportunity to spend some time with your kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get out of the house. Get out of the.
Right.
Get out of a little. We're all getting a little cabin fevery with this weather here.
That's right. Yeah.
So, well, Dan, we're pretty much out of time. It's great to have you here on the Men's Room. I really appreciate your bringing us up to date on what's going on with All Pro Dads, and maybe we can check in with you in 6 months or something and see how it's going. And
It's been great being here.
yeah,
Thanks so much. It was great to hear about the program.
yeah.
And best of luck.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, thanks. So, wow. I should go. I should take my kids and go to All Pro Dads.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, I wish there was some program like that for me when my kids were younger.
Yeah.
I don't think at 30 plus years, I don't think I could get them to come to a breakfast.
Well, you never know. You never know.
But yeah, no, it's a great idea, and I think that things like this are starting to pop up now here and there. There's a dad support group that's being offered here in town. That's
Right.
brand new.
Yep. I don't know if it's actually launched, but the one
Yeah.
with Elizabeth Raposa's
Yep.
organization. Yeah. Through
That's
MFS.
right, through
yeah.
MFS, yep, that's right. And I know that the hospital has had some programming for new parents, and new dads, and so forth.
That's
So,
good.
yeah, things are popping up, but there's
Yeah.
definitely a need for it. So,
Right, and on the other side of the equation, we
Yeah.
need to say that the drop-in support group for men, not a fathers group, but a men's support group that the Monadnock Men's Resource Center, which we're a part of, has been sponsoring for 6 years now. Is coming to a close, at least for now. I mean, if it turns out there is a groundswell, if there's people out there who say, no, this is something I want to really make happen, then we
reserve the right to start the group back up again. So, but we have been experiencing a trend of diminishing attendance and interest in the group, and we have some very dedicated facilitators on that team who many of whom would travel some distance.
Right, some come as much as an hour to facilitate a group here, and then there'd be no one to come to the group.
Right.
So it's a little hard to ask them to keep doing that.
Yeah, that's right. But it's we've learned recently that this is not unique to us. That other groups similar to ours have been experiencing similar challenges. So,
but it's been 6 years. It's been something like 300 consecutive Sunday evenings that we've had the drop-in support group.
Yep.
Hundreds of men have come. Many men have been trained in our facilitator program and facilitated. I think that it's been a huge success over the years.
Oh, absolutely.
We have gotten to spend a lot of really interesting time talking with men, and
we've made a difference for some men, I think, and that's I think that's, to me, I feel really good about that, and
and I just want to take a moment to be sure to remember that there are so many people we have to thank for the fact that this group has been around for so long. People have donated their time and energy, all the men who've facilitated, all the men who've been brave enough to come into the group for that first time.
Yeah. The Life Arts Center,
the Life Arts
donated that space from we've been with them all these years.
Yeah. So it's really been a community effort, to make this happen.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So I am sad to see it go. I facilitated my last group this last Sunday.
Oh, did you? Yeah. Next week it will be mine, I guess, the 9th. Yeah.
So March 16th is the last drop-in support group.
Yeah. So, but thank you all for everyone who attended that group and everyone who's helped us to keep it going all this time.
That's right. But we'll be back here with another segment of the men's room.
That's right. We're not ready to flush the men's room.
Oh. No, we're not.
So, no, this as we said at the opening of the show, we have a great lineup of guests in the coming weeks. Ever expanding list.
We got your ticker tuned up. We're ready to go.
That's right. Ready to go.
So thanks for joining us here in the men's room. We'll look forward to seeing you around soon again.
Yeah. Thanks so much.
Bye-bye.
Sponsored by the Monadnock Men's Resource Center and hosted by Damian Licata, co-director of the MMRC and executive director of the Granite State Monarchs, and Forrest Seymour, co-director of the MMRC and a therapist in private practice in Keene. You can learn more about the Monadnock Men's Resource Center, see past shows online, and find our Cheshire TV schedule at mmrconline.org. And thanks for joining us in the men's room.